The cost of filling up a grocery cart adds up. With prices rising over the past few years, shoppers may be wondering if there's any relief in sight. Kevin Schmidt is co-owner of Downtown Family Foods. He told me that prices this year have actually been somewhat better than previous years, but it'll still cost you.
It's nice to see a little regression when it comes to that, but it's still unfortunate that there's no kind of like steady period where people can get used to things. Prices just slowly creep up here and there. Products that go on sale, their sale price is now higher than what it used to be, right? So last year something might have been $2.50 on sale. Now it's $3 on sale, right?
We did some comparisons between this year's and last year's prices for a few items. Here's what we found across 6 grocery stores in Winnipeg. The price for a beef inside round roast stayed the same at $26.43 per kilogram at several stores, but we did find it recently at one store for $16.51 per kilogram. The price of bananas increased anywhere from 1 cent to 10 cents per pound. It stayed the same at one store at 99 cents, which was the highest price we found. Canned tomatoes without salt increased at all but one store, where it stayed at $1.99 per can. Elsewhere, the increase ranged from 11 cents to 80 cents. With inflation and shrinkflation not going away, making healthy choices at the grocery store might seem a bit overwhelming. So we asked for a bit of help. Andrea Cates is a certified integrative nutritionist and knows her way around a grocery store.
I think just like everybody else, I'm really feeling the cost of groceries being so much higher than they were even a couple of years ago. And so I do try to, find some healthy, nutritious options, but still making sure that I'm not breaking the bank with those decisions.
According to Cates, saving money involves doing things like choosing produce that's in season, buying in bulk, and making sure you make use of what you buy so it doesn't go to waste. As well, putting in the time to plan and prepare your own meals by making a shopping list may help you avoid impulse purchases.
So when we look at the pre-cut vegetables, like the ones that they have here, well, the convenience factor is up there, right? You just have to take off the wrap and you're good to go. The issue there is you could probably get about 2 or 3 times the amount of food for the same price if you did the work in your kitchen instead of purchasing it at the grocery stores. I think the biggest things that I have on my grocery list are fruits and vegetables. I also try to get fish, beans, nuts, and seeds in there. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat meat, and I try and avoid processed foods as well, or overly processed foods. There's a significant difference in cost a lot of the times with certain fruits and vegetables when we talk about organic. So a good example here are organic bananas. So for $1.59 a pound, we have organic ones, and for 97 cents a pound, we have the regular ones. So what would I personally choose? When it comes to something with a thick peel, like a banana or an orange, I would opt for the non-organic option. That doesn't really make a huge difference in terms of what's happening on the inside. So if we're going for beans, this is a really great one because there's no salt added, okay? So that's an important thing that we're looking for when we're talking about canned beans. We still want to give it a good rinse, but that's a better start.
What's interesting is I'm looking at the price difference between the ones with the no salt and the regular ones, and they're actually the same price.
They are. So usually from a nutrition perspective, when we talk about canned foods, it doesn't really make a big difference. Sometimes people like the salt because of the flavor, but often they're not really aware of how much sodium can be involved in that canning process.
Dried beans are way cheaper than canned, though not as convenient.
Not as convenient, but if we have a little bit of forethought with our planning for our food, it's a much, much cheaper process. And so just as an example, these black beans are $2.49, but you're going to get about 4 or 5 times the amount than what you would from a can. So it's a huge cost savings for just a little bit of extra planning on your part.
When it comes to other proteins, Cates advises to limit how much meat you buy because it tends to be expensive, and there are healthier options that can also save you a few bucks.
So something that I look for when I'm buying fish is the word wild. Okay, so that's really important. We're looking for wild caught seafood and fish versus farmed. That's going to just be a healthier option. And the other important thing for us to always look at, especially when frozen, are the ingredients. You would think that it's just the fish, but sometimes there's added preservatives or perhaps something else in there that we want to make sure that it's just the fish that we're purchasing so we can go home and make a really healthy meal for ourselves or our family. There's been a lot of issues where I think a lot of people sometimes think that eating healthy means it's more expensive. And there are a lot of different things that we can do at the grocery store level to make sure that that's not the case.
For CBC Manitoba, I'm Shannah-Lee Vidal.